I'm Will, the real Wild Bill.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I'm Hux, I'm Future Visions.
And we'd like to welcome you all to our very first podcast, Future Visions podcast, very first episode, sorry. And and to my understanding, Future Visions shines a spotlight on up and coming superstar athletes coming up the ranks. We always seem to see the professionals as adults, but to my understanding, Future Visions wants to put a spotlight on the kids.
Yeah. I hope that's the vision. I hope through this platform, especially Valu being here, I hope to build this platform so we can be able to shine light on the young athletes growing up, and hopefully through this platform we'll be able to have our own people, like our Polynesian people, to be able to cheer you on, Valu, all the way to when you make that big stage.
Yeah, and I just want to give a little special intro to our special guest. Um, she is a former 2023 44 kg Golden Glove and Queensland State Champion. She's also following in the footsteps of fellow Polynesian prodigy boxers like Justice Huni and Jao Bataya, who started at a very young age, coached by their father. And also accompanying her is her trainer and father, former Australasian heavyweight boxing champion, Kato Falefehi. And we want to welcome also, Leslie Valu Falefehi as well.
Thank you, boys. Thank you for having us.
All right, where do we start off, man?
Where we gonna kick off? Can we have you, Valu? Can you please just introduce yourself?
Um, my name is Leslie Valu Falefehi. I'm 12 years old, turning 13 next year, and I go to Maple Park State High School. I do boxing, and my dad's my trainer. Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. The reason why we have you here is because you're a standout athlete, and when Hux said to me, "Oh, let's do the first episode," and I said, "Oh yeah, cool," and I said, "Can you send me information about the athlete?" And then he sent me the link to your Instagram. I said, "Man, I'm already a big fan. I'm already a big fan of Leslie, And then you got to do things that I never got to do, like you sponsored by different brands, and so I was like, man, she's already ahead of the game. So I've already been a big fan of you, Leslie, and I've been following your career, especially because I've been following your father's career as well. So just a little background. I haven't actually met Kato in person. This is our first time
First
meeting.
time me.
But there was one time I was sitting on a table at a fight on the Gold Coast, and then I see this Tongan guy. Did you have the flags on that time?
No, not at the time.
At the time, but I could tell he was a Tongan, and then I was going, hey, actually, I think he's my Facebook friend. And then I look, I said, oh, that's Kato. And then I was just like, I wish that I knew he was fighting, because I would have asked if I could be in his corner. But afterwards, I just messaged him and I just told him how proud I was. And I was trying my best to cheer you all the way from the crowd, so you knew there's a Tongan in the crowd. Kato.
I heard you the whole way through.
But just so you know, your dad was a good fighter.
Can you introduce yourself, please, Kato?
Hey, my name is full name is Waikato Akripa Falefehi, known as Kato. Yeah, I'm just another proud Polynesian father. Moved over from New Zealand when I was 18, and yeah, met my wife here in Australia, Australian born, and we have 8 beautiful kids now, and that's probably my.
They muck around, man.
And they muck around, all right?
That's just one question that I have, or even if we guessed it, what kind of vehicle you reckon they got?
Taraga?
You reckon Taraga? I reckon they got the LDV G10, or the Kia Carnival,
Yeah, kind of.
or
That's
the,
the
but the
new one.
Taragas are getting out of. They're pricing us out, mate.
They're finished.
In the 90s, we could afford the Taraga, but now they're too
You're
expensive.
pretty spot on. We got the 9-seater LDV.
LDV G10, see, we know, man. We
Pretty
know.
spot on.
I've actually had two of those too.
So Kato, are you able to tell us how did all of this start? Was there someone a boxer before you, and then carry on, or did it just start at you and then carry on from your kids?
Yeah, it's one of those stories, Like I wasn't no one. We don't come from a fighting family, but the way it started was because I lost my father to cancer, and I was at that time I was still playing footy. I was playing for Logan Brothers, and they had this charity boxing match where it's for the charity was for cancer, and they matched us with other footy teams, and that's how I pretty much started in the boxing. Like it was just one of those corporate fights. I think Will here will know about those, just normal corporate fights, and one thing led to another, and that's pretty much how our boxing career started.
It's crazy, yeah.
and
It's just pretty much you just saw what the cause was for your father.
yeah,
and you just put
it
yourself
was just
in there.
for the cause. Yeah, the main thing. But then, then all the promoters just started calling me saying, "Oh, would you like Jamie? Will knows all those guys. Oh, would you fight this guy?" And they were mostly all last minute fights. And then, and for me, man, I was always like I wouldn't say but scared and nervous because this is a whole different. But I think that's what kept me going back because I like the feeling nervous, feeling scared, getting ready to go have a fight before. But yeah, that's how I pretty much started. I just pretty much started taking all those last minute fights and then one thing led to another, and then we're here now. So
And then you just started training Valu.
yeah,
How many of your other kids are doing boxing as well?
two. So her and her little brother, Irasa.
And Valu, you're the oldest.
Yep.
And how long have you been since you put your first gloves on?
I think I was 3 when I started boxing. Yeah.
How old were you, Valu, when your dad first started boxing?
Oh,
That you can remember?
when I was like 9 or something.
you're
Yeah, I
9?
went to one of his boxing matches. Yeah.
And as a daughter watching your dad fight, what was the feelings like?
I was kind of nervous for him, but like happy for him at the same time.
Yeah. And how did that fight turn out?
Yeah, turned out good.
He won?
Yeah, he won one of his fights. Yeah.
One.
So I'm Facebook friends with Kato, but I'm also Facebook friends with a lot of those promoters. And so when I first seen Kato come on the scene, he was very active. So I think the promoters loved him because he was just saying he would fight anyone, And with Kato, he could go down to cruiserweight, he could go to heavyweight, And so that's why I think a lot of promoters loved him, and just was never scared to fight,
You must have been a street fighter before boxing.
I have one question for you, Kato. If people were to refer to you as a journeyman, do you get offended by that title?
Nah, I actually gave, and I think that's sort of one of the reasons why my record is like that is because I didn't have that much pressure.
So, for those that don't know, can you share with us your record?
Yeah, my record is I've had 26 professional fights and only 3 wins, and the rest all losses. I wish it was the other way around.
No, but one thing I wanted to highlight is that one of those wins was for the Australasian heavyweight title.
yeah,
And that was a title I fought for and I lost. So it's a big title, and Kato won it. So it just goes to show, a lot of people are trying to protect their records and stuff, but he just took on every fight, and I just think you have saved a lot of promotions. Like a lot of promoters love you because they might have someone scheduled to fight one of their stars coming up, and then if someone pulls out, rather than have the show get cancelled, they'll call Kato, and then you pretty much save the show. Like that's the place of a journeyman in boxing, you know. Yeah, without the journeyman, like these superstars wouldn't really get there. They wouldn't be able to get to where they are, you know.
Yeah.
No, I just want to give
No, that's
Kato
cool.
flowers,
Because
you know.
I don't even know how boxing goes, and just to hear that just shows what kind of person you are.
No, yeah, in a way too, like um I really just stuck around boxing because they were paying. Like for me, it was good money, and having 8 kids. You know, a lot of people think you say you don't like it, but why do you keep going back? I said they don't see the backside story, like, and that's what I mean. Like for me, sometimes it's funny because I always say we accidentally ended up in this journey that we're in now with like my kids doing boxing, but it's a journey that I don't regret because I did a lot of those stuff for money. Because having us islanders, we have a lot of kids and they don't just eat twice a day or 3 times a day. These kids eat every hour. So for me, it was more. That's the reason why I stuck around and I took those last minute fights, and because they offered a bit more.
Because of being last minute, you got a bit of leverage,
I think, yeah, and like I think the last minute, how do I say, the earliest one I took was like a 4-day notice. Yeah, so, but that, yeah, it paid off good. So like,
Would you say that those fights paid a little bit higher than an overtime?
oh man, if I always joke around with my wife and I say, man, if I could do this once, if I was getting that kind of money, I'll do this once a month. I wouldn't have to work a full-time job.
That's what I mean.
So after this, say you take a fight like that, does that mean you have the rest of the week off for your full-time job? Or?
Nah, it's like I go straight back. It's funny because when the fight that she was talking about, like she came and like one day was when I fought Nick Medley. Yeah, he was a former Australasian cruiserweight champion too, and yeah, that's the fight that's the first fight I took her to, and yeah, luckily we we came home with the lollies.
So how did you? So I already asked you how you felt, but as soon as your dad, the announcement that he won, how did you react to that?
I was happy for
Yeah.
him. Yeah, like happy
Yeah.
at the same time and that.
And when you were walking out, were you like walking with your dad, like, yeah, that's my dad. He won the fight.
When Valu, just sorry, another question. When was it the moment that when you first felt like, man, I want to be a boxer? Like, do you still remember that moment, like growing up, where you actually wanted to take this journey being a boxer? Or
I'm not sure.
Yeah, her journey was pretty much like I could remember certain parts, but yeah, it's like a weird storyline because she just ended up training, and the only thing I could remember her, like, she's saying that when I had one fight and I came back home, and she goes, "Oh, Dad," and she was 3 turning 4 that time. She goes, "Oh, you need to punch like this," and that's where it's like and then if you a lot of my when people ask me, he goes, "Oh, how did your daughter?" And then I say the exact same because it's still in my head, like, I remember her saying, "Oh, Dad, you need to punch like this," and that's where it sort of started for her. Like when she was 3, like when we say she started boxing at 3, she didn't start fighting, but she started. That's when she started training and learning how to punch, and then yeah, just through time, and she's 12 now, so that's a few years.
I actually remember seeing a video of Valu when she was young, and then you on your knees, and I was
Doing the
trying-
Mayweather
and
pad work?
I actually thought you guys were from New Zealand, like doing all that, and then someone was saying, "Nah, they're from Logan." I was just like, "Man, that's crazy to see someone at her age doing that, man."
Question for you, Leslie or Valu. Take us through your typical schedule when you're preparing for a fight. Like say Monday, wake up. Do you train in the morning or do you go to school? and then you come home and train? Like, take us just kind of through like a Monday to Sunday. Like, if you're preparing for a fight, how does that look like for you?
Monday is just rest day, and then Tuesday morning I get up, do 10-minute run on the treadmill, and then go shower, get ready for school, and then the same from Tuesday to Thursday, and then Friday we rest. Like we don't eat like anything heavy, and then I have energy for Saturday.
Oh, nice. And watching your pad work, um, if you were to tell me what's your strongest punch, when I'm watching, I'm thinking it's your left hook. Or what do you think your strongest punch is?
My overhand,
Right or left?
right?
Overhand right.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I never got to see any of the overhand rights. The pad work I was watching, I didn't see it. But I did see you had a strong right hand, you know. But that left hook still looks pretty good too, you know. Man, I should have brought the pads so I can just test it out. Because actually, that was one of my favorite punches too. I used to help people with their amnesia, you know, when they just struggle sleeping.
It's the Moi gang, eh?
That was when I was trying to, you know, serve the people. That's what I'll do, you know. But your trainer now is your dad, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's some of the gyms you used to belong to before you just trained with your dad?
The boxing shop.
Boxing shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boxing shop?
Yeah.
Just the
And now you're at Logan Boxing.
Logan boxing.
And that's the gym that I came to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got some other questions here for you, Valu. Who do you think would win if Justice Huni and Jai Opatai had a fight and they were the same weight?
Oh.
Whoever you don't say won't get angry at you.
Okay. I think Justice Huni would win. Because he has powerful punches.
Yeah.
And yeah, he could probably knock out Jai Opatai.
And because he's your favorite.
Is he your favorite? Hey, Jai, if you're watching, it's a bit biased because she watches Justice. But yeah, I have seen Justice's power increase in his last fight. You know, he's put on a little bit of weight, and I think, what do you reckon? Yeah, that was pretty impressive, that last fight he had, eh?
Man, he's gone quicker as well, I reckon. And I think the power, I guess it comes with the speed, eh? But he's just good.
And then with that, like, just if you look at Jopatai's Samoan, Samoan heritage?
Yeah. He's someone Aussie. Yeah.
Is he like leading the pathway? Like, what's that like for you, Valu, to see someone like one of our own to be at the top like that?
I feel like that's like an inspiration for me to lead other Polynesian kids that want to be boxers, like do any sports. Yeah.
Do you feel there's a similarity? Because, you know, their dads trained them from the age of 5 all the way to where they're at. And, like, Jai now is, like, the scariest cruiserweight. Like, you know, Australia didn't give him much raps, but if he walks around England, people are like, they're like, praise him, you know? Like, he's just such a special talent, you know? For you, Kato, watching Rocky and Taps, do you draw any inspiration from watching their journey from afar?
Yeah, it's like in a way that's like how that's where I got all this from. Like, you know, like I used to watch Rocky and Justice, and then watching Tap and Jai, like their videos when they were still in Sydney in it. Like, yeah, it just made me feel like, oh, like she was still young that time too, but I sort of looked at it and I was like, man, yeah, we could actually be that, you know, father and instead of son, father and daughter. So it was, yeah, I saw ourselves in them as well. So, but yeah, it's we just right now, as she's getting older, we're just enjoying the journey as well, because I still always have to remind myself. My wife reminds me that she's still a kid too, and you know, she's gotta let her have her free time and stuff. So yeah, but I don't regret having her as my eldest. Usually people say they want their son to be the oldest, but yeah,
So when you found out you're having a daughter first, you wasn't disappointed?
nah, I was actually happy. Like just having my first kid, and like I didn't really care what it was.
Just for you, Kato, can you describe one thing from each that you've adopted into your training with Valu, watching Rocky, and then one thing if you've adopted watching Taps? Is there something you can draw from both?
Yeah,
So maybe we'll start with Rocky first. What is something that you watched and you kind of implement?
like I watch like when I was there and when I get the time to watch Rocky and Justice when they do their training, like um they work a lot of, oh, that's just me personally, they work a lot of the body punches, and that's what I'm always trying to get this one to, because everyone's always going for the head, and that's a normal, but that's what I'm really trying with her, like just trying to get her to go more to the body. It's just because everyone's expecting you to get hit in the face, but a lot of people don't know how lethal the body shots are, eh? Like especially when, I mean, I've been hit with a few, and yeah, they're one of those ones you don't want to be hit with. But yeah, that's what I see from, yeah, what I get from, it's just working on the body.
That's actually huge because not many people know, but I was brought into Justice's camp to spar him when he was fighting Paul Gallen, and I'd like to admit he did drop me with a body shot. So yeah, like it is true. Like Rocky's done a good job with
KFC's
Justice.
supposed to protect the body,
Mine.
man. It's not
Let me
working.
down. My 12 pack let me down. and I did the and I tried to get back up fast. But it was an honor to share the ring with Justice. Like he just moves around so fast. And something that stood out to me when I was sparring Justice is his IQ is so fast, it made me tired. Because I was like, he was there throwing free punch combo. I'll react this side. He's on this side throwing free punch combo. And my mind was just getting tired, just trying to anticipate what he was doing. But that just shows the levels. And just a question for Valu, while we're on the body shot, have you dropped anyone in sparring or fighting with the body shot?
No.
No. That is something I reckon would be pretty cool to do.
Yeah, and with Tapu and Jai, I watch a lot of his like movement and his footwork, because he likes to jump around, like not jump, but hop a lot, use his feet, and he's real good with his feet. And like Justice is good as well, but I see Jai, he's real, especially he's southpaw, eh? Yeah, and that's what the footwork is. She moves a lot, and that's what I get out of Jai and Tapu. But sometimes I try to get her to sit on those punches, not jump around too much. So, but yeah, that's what I get out of Tapu and Jai.
I think that just comes with time, eh? Because I think one thing I've noticed with kids that have been brought up in the boxing is they have a habit of scoring points. Is there a way where you kind of emphasize both scoring points and sitting on punches for power as well? Or is it mostly like just win the fight, score points? What's kind of like the mindset with bringing up Leslie?
Yeah, with Leslie, like I tell her, yeah, it's points. I told her amateurs is different, like, because sometimes when she's sparring, she takes her time, and I go, yeah, even though you're taking it, but you got to admit it's only sparring. But when you're actually fighting in the amateurs, you got to actually score those points. Like, and I tell her a lot of, like, I mean, she's got all this from her coaches, and I've learned it from like her coach Shara, and that, like what to do, and like, yeah, it's mostly just her just trying to get points, but at the same time, like, be still clean with her, because I know there's a lot of kids that's real, rough fighting, and just getting her just to pick them off, and just using that jab all days. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to do with her, and hopefully
like,
we'll go in the right way.
Just boxing itself, like, man, I have no idea of boxing that, but like just the individual sport, to be able to be in the ring with someone else and a lot of people watching. Like, how's that? How do you feel about like when you're in the ring? Like your first ever? Can you walk us through like your first ever fight? What was that like?
Oh, I felt nervous and scared when I got to the ring, and then the first the first round came. Um, the nervous like feeling. I don't know where it went, so I was just like
The first punch you said? Like,
the like you know how you have that feeling and then it goes away.
yeah. Oh, so
Yeah,
after the first round.
yeah.
Oh. And is it like scary that like because all the people watching, or is it being in the ring?
Um, I'd say it's both because there's like lots of people watching you perform, and you try to perform well, and then you're in the ring, and you also try to perform well yourself. So yeah,
No, that's really cool, man. Because like, we know team sports and that, like, you always got someone to, you can go hide behind that person and that. But like be able to stand in the ring on your own, man. Like, credit to you guys for even choosing boxing, eh? Because definitely a pathway I didn't even think of. But yeah, no, that's cool. And what was after that first? Let's just say your first fight after you finished. What was that like? Did it just did they just drive you? Nah, this is it for me. Like I want to do boxing, or
yeah.
What's your like future goals with boxing? How far do you want to take it? Do you want to be a trainer one day? Do you want to open up a gym, or you want to be a world champion?
Yeah, I want to be a world champion,
You want to be a world champion?
and then
Wow, that's amazing.
when I finish, like retire,
Yeah,
I wanna like also open up a gym and like teach the other kids like to box.
man, that's so awesome. I just think because you've got a head start and you've got good people around you. The good thing about your dad, everyone in the boxing world loves him. So everyone's going to throw their resources for his daughter, which is you. And the thing that you done is you bring to the table, you bring your talent and you actually bring your skill. So it it wasn't by accident. I think it all happened for a reason. And man, we're just so excited to see how far you can go, you know. And no doubt you'll be a world champion, you know.
supporting you all the way, bro, all the way. Just for you, Kato. Just another question. Um, can you just give us an insight of what's probably the hardest thing um raising up your daughter in boxing? Like, we all from the outside, when we look in on socials and that, it looks cool what he's doing that. But what is it really like behind the scenes, bringing up a daughter in boxing?
Um, when everyone sees us doing all the, all our trainings and they're, oh man, that's cool. People don't see the, like what she actually goes through. Like me being a father, like everybody thinks, oh, because she's a girl, like he treats her like a princess. Like I treat them like princess, but it's
Train them
different
like
when we
men.
train. Like it's like when we train, it's like because at the end of the day, they're gonna grow up. They're gonna have to do these things on their own, and like I'm not trying to like make her hard or make her like be the staunch girl, but I'm just in reality I'm just trying to push her and just getting her ready for what's to come, because what I'm doing now, like telling her what to do, you gotta train, you gotta do this. It's just little, it's a little thing, but I know as she gets older, she's gonna get through to go through that stage where she's really gonna feel it. And yeah, I mean, everyone sees the good, but deep down, I push her just as hard as I push my son, just because I want her to be the best. But at the same time, I try to be careful because girls are different from boys, and like I can't really like say, oh, well, that's the main question. Everyone says, oh, she loves the sport, and I'll always say, like, I wouldn't say she loves it, but right now she likes it. So because I don't know as a girl and what the way they think, so I still try to have that balance of my son is different and she's different, and I just try to like sort of honestly, you know what I mean? Like, I don't try to go, like, I go hard on her, but there's certain things where she gets emotional, and then I don't realize it until later when we go upstairs and she's in her room crying, and then makes me feel like, oh, like I sort of sit back, and that's when I realize, oh man, maybe I pushed her a bit too, and I still got to remember that she's a young lady, like they're different emotions.
Which is that's normal to feel like that. Like us as parents, we want the best for our kids, right? But like that's cool that able to see the inside of like behind the scenes kind of thing, because a lot of us we want our kids to be the best, but really sometimes we don't actually go and do the work that we need to do with them. You know what I mean? But that's cool. But with you, Valu, what's probably the hardest thing that you ever come across throughout your whole boxing career, like journey so far?
Mm,
Have you gone through a hard time during boxing before, or has it been like kind of smooth sailing?
yeah, it's kind of been smooth, and then like, mm,
Your dad did mention that you had an injury this year.
yeah.
Did that kind of set you back a little bit mentally?
Mm.
How did you overcome that? Like what did you tell yourself to get through the injury phase? Did you have itchy feet to get back in the ring, or were you happy to have the break?
I was, I was.
This
A
is a
little
safe
bit.
space. You can be honest. Valu.
Yeah. I was like sad at first because it was state titles that I was gonna fight, but then I realized that stuff happens and you just gotta like overcome yourself.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like, excuse the pun, but it's like the roll of the punches thing.
Yeah.
Um, you know how we're talking with your dad, and he was mentioning things that he took away from Justice's dad and Jayapatai's dad. If there was one thing that you feel your dad focuses on the most in training, what do you think that is?
Speed and power.
Speed and power.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. So now that you've said speed and power, Kato, break it down for us. Why is the emphasis on speed and power?
Wait. You probably can't tell because then the listeners, the opposition.
Definitely subscribe.
Subscribe.
Definitely
That's it.
subscribe.
That's a good answer, right? That's pay-per-view stuff right there.
Yeah. Is it in AUD or Paanga?
Euro.
Nah, that's so cool. I had one more question for you, Valu. You know how you've put so much time and energy into boxing, and you're at where you're at now, like you're the best in the state, and you're Golden Gloves, which is a very prestigious title in boxing. If you were to put that same energy into another sport and be successful, what sport do you think that would be?
Basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah.
How cool. I heard you were saying earlier you play for the Maple team,
Yeah.
Maple High School team. And you guys went to CBSQ this year?
Mhm.
How'd you guys go? Did you enjoy your time?
Mhm.
Was it easier mentally playing in the team as opposed to boxing by yourself?
Yeah, the running was easy, but then the defense, like that was
You gotta move your feet, eh?
yeah.
Yeah. But your footwork would have helped, or was it just
Yeah.
knowing where to move your feet?
The footwork helped.
Yep.
But then the defense was like a bit.
Nah, I think her one, the funniest one, because I took her there. The funniest one, I told her, oh yeah, after that basketball game, nah, we're not playing basketball. She goes, I don't know the basketball works, but you know when one team scores a goal or what they shoot in, and then they have to serve it. Well, the other team, they got one goal, and I think they got thrashed. It was pretty big score. The other score's pretty good, so they actually scored a goal, and then I don't know how it works, but Valu was meant to be in the middle because it's their turn to defense. Yeah. She took off from one side, so the other girl was under the goal like getting ready to pass so it's their turn now with the ball. She ran from that side to the other side and stood on the other side and waited. And I was screaming from the thing. And I was screaming when I was going, what are you doing? Get back in the middle. Yeah, after that, and that's where it sort of, after that.
That's your last time playing basketball.
Last time I played basketball.
Put the gloves back on.
So, like, coming from the other side, like, you know, me and Kato, we both had some time in the ring. My kids are the opposite. They actually play full-time basketball, and I never taught them anything on boxing yet. But they love basketball, but I don't know. Maybe I'll wait till I'm just being lazy. Sorry, boys. I will train you guys. But yeah, my kids love basketball. I think it's a good sport. You know, I think Dad's just frustrated because you weren't the superstar on the court. What other sports do you think she'll excel at, Kato? I reckon she'd be a mean league player. You reckon?
I was just about to say, like, I think when she first trialed for the Logan Brothers girls team, but she already started training boxing. I think that's one of the sport that I thought that I'll see her if she didn't like boxing. But I think we took her out of that first week as well because she nearly ended up beating up the kid because he tackled her too hard and she wanted to throw hands. So, but that was probably one of the other sports because she's pretty fast. Yeah, and yeah, that's what I like. If she didn't,
they're paying the Origin girls 30 grand a game.
30 grand.
Oh, you can do both.
Maybe.
I'll shoot one. And we need you to be honest, Valu. Then look at your dad when I ask you this. What's your dad's or your dad's pep talk before fight day?
And you pretend to do his voice.
You can tell the truth.
What's the most same pep talk he normally says to you?
Even if it's a swear, we will cut it out.
You better win this fight.
Is that what he's saying? Yeah, no pressure, eh?
And if you lose, what? You're walking home, or?
If you lose this fight, no more game for the weekend.
Why? What do you play?
Oh, I just go on my iPad, play with my siblings and that. Yeah.
Who would be your favorite music artist you listen to the most? Oh yeah, what's kind of your playlist? What kind of is there like
They hype you up before your fight.
Oh, I don't know really, cause I don't
really listen to music.
Yeah, not like that often.
But it's funny that a lot of I notice a lot of islanders they just listen to like love songs and stuff before the fight, like just normal music,
That's us.
Fighting is not like a thing where you have to hype yourself up. Just turn the switch on. Oh God,
My last one is, how you said before fight, that day before you don't really eat heavy food. After your fight, do you eat heavy?
Yes.
What's your go-to cheat
What's
meal?
the go-to cheat meal?
Oh,
And I want to ask Kato too.
probably like chocolate, like the dairy chocolate, the bar, or like chips.
Man, I was thinking something heavy, man. I was like KFC or
because she's not eating this.
Oh yeah, and KFC or Macca's.
Oh
or
yeah.
Macca's. What about you, Kato? What's the main, like straight after a fight? What's your main go-to meal you normally go to?
I don't really have a meal here. I think it's just more like what these kids always have, like McDonald's or whatever. I'm not really.
Don't worry, kids. My shout.
That's it, man. As soon as
Like
come back from the fight, yo,
$5 grand.
well, let's go to Macca's and have 2 dinner boxes.
2 dinner boxes.
Yeah.
We just want to thank you both for taking the time to come out and just share your journey. I've definitely been inspired and learned a lot from both of you. I'm excited to see the journey and also see you wear a Queensland jersey, play Origin, as you go towards being a world champion.
Just like what Will said, thank you, Valu. I hope through this podcast, there's other listeners that they may be able to see and follow your journey as a Pacific Islander. You go not just represent your family, you represent all of us, and we're going to be cheering you all the way. And Kato, keep up the good work. What you're doing with your daughter, like what we see from the outside, that's hard work, and I know one day it's gonna pay off.
And just before we go, do you want to just let all the viewers know where they can find you on Facebook and Instagram, just so they can follow the journey?
If you're wanting to follow Valu's journey, just follow her on her Instagram page, little Valu, or little _Valu _Falefehi.
Is / different from underscore?
Man. Now then. Oh yeah. I think that's a bit too much of a.
No, I know what you mean, man. They know what you mean.
Ask Siri, man.
So it's Leslie _
Not little.
or little. So little little Valu.
Or little _
Little-
Valu _
You didn't want to put it together? No, okay. Little _ Valu _
Falefehi.
Falefehi.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So everyone,
Make sure
Support
you
that
go
journey.
and follow.
eh, we're gonna see our next world champion coming from Logan.
Valu, is there anything you guys want to say before we finish up?
Thank you for inviting me to do a podcast today and share my journey with all of you guys here today. Yeah.
Thanks, Valu.
Thanks, Valu.
All good, Kato?
Thank you for having the backup extra.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I really always appreciate it, and thank you guys for your guys' time and inspiring the next generation Polynesian kids and Hux, Will. Everyone get behind these two, because man, these guys got some real big plans for the kids, for the youth, and I support what you guys do, especially for our kids. And man, I believe this is gonna go. It's gonna go off. I mean, it's all for our kids, for the future. And I've always believed that us Islanders, there's a lot of talent, hidden talent out there that we never got to see. But through you guys, Future Vision, man, a lot of our young Polynesian kids can actually, they can shine. You can make them shine through you guys. So this is a pathway for our young kids. So appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for having us on board.
Thanks, guys.
Lux.